Okay, so this is the final task of Unit 10, the film discussion. First of all, first question was, how did you find the University Drama School research and application processes? I found it quite easy to do because I was aware that after college I'll be going to hopefully drama school or uni. So halfway through my first year, I went through like a list of unis that I got from my sister who went through the same thing, and she did art, so she had quite a few creative unis in there. The drama schools I had to find myself, but we went through and ordered a lot of prospectuses. I wanted like a hard copy of the prospectus instead of it online. That's just a personal thing. But I knew what I wanted in a drama school or a uni. I weren't too fussed which, but the things that kind of popped up to me was, first of all, that they offered screen work, which is one of the reasons I came to ATA in the first place, because I saw that it had screen work, and that's something that I want to get into in the future. And I think continuing my training on that is a big thing for me. There was location as well. I wanted to move out, but not too far, in terms of an hour away, far enough so that I can move out, but not far enough that if I had like a bad day, I couldn't go home on the weekends, back to a comfort zone. After looking at all the prospectuses, I came down to about 15 that I was interested in. Not to the point of I wanted to go there, but stuff that caught my eye. And obviously for a summer task, for a Unit 10 task, we had to find 10 unis and order them. So I went in a bit more detail for that. I looked at open days and went to every one that I possibly could. I went to UCLan open days. I went to Leeds Conservatoire, Arden School of Theatre. I went down to Bath. I went to Bath and went to that open day. I also went to RADA, which was on my list, and Fourth Monkey as well. So I went all over the place, travelled, and I think that was quite an important thing, travelling round everywhere that I possibly could to try and, get an experience of it firsthand before actually deciding to go and audition there. Because, for example, Bath is a long way away. I ended up really enjoying the open day, so that's why I committed to actually doing the audition. One thing which I did as well is I spoke to people who I knew went there, so my list ended up being, my top 4 mainly was RADA, Leeds Conservatoire, Bath Spartan, the Arden School of Theatre. Everyone bar RADA I knew people who went to, so I asked them about both the accommodation, the course itself, what they would recommend, what they don't like about the course. I felt that was quite interesting, because Chris Forrest, for example, at Bath, he said it's not as many hours, but in the hours that you do get, it's all crammed into one. Me personally, I want to commit myself, so looking at more Leeds Conservatoire Drama School, where you get more hours, even more that I'd get here at ATA. And I ended up looking at Leeds Conservatoire as my most interested one. It caught my eye straight away from the prospectus, and from then on I was really, really over the top about it and loved every single part about it. It had dance, singing, industry showcases in which I wanted to push myself in. Also, it had a screen lesson starting from the first year, which none other places that was on my top 4 list did have. Arden had it, but in the third year, whereas Leeds had it in the first year forward. and I felt they were some of the main things that caught my eye when going through this application process. In terms of the auditions, the interviews, entry exams, all of that stuff, we at ATA we did a monologue rep, so we had contemporary and classical monologues. I wanted them to be very contrasting because I knew that was something that Bath wanted anyway, and I knew that I was auditioning to Bath at the point of choosing those monologues. That was the preparation that we did. 2 contemporary monologues, 2 classical monologues, and doing that was really interesting because I knew that whatever my strongest one was, I had to perform that at the Bath audition. And again, that was from talking to Chris, who did the acting course there, still does, and I wanted them to be different from each other and contrasting to show the people who would be choosing me to go down to the uni and actually giving me the offers, to show that I can do different things. I'm not just typecast for one character. I can do a classical Shakespearean monologue, and then I can do a very deep, depressing contemporary monologue as well. Throughout that as well, I knew the expectation was to just go for it. In terms of the auditions, to just go for it, to not hold back, to show exactly the fearlessness and the selflessness of working in a team, communication between everyone. I knew that was the expectation when going down to auditions, and I felt that not just the monologues and not just the selfish actor part of it, because with a monologue you are a selfish actor. You only focus on yourself, you focus on how you can improve, whereas when you're performing as a group, you think about everyone, not just yourself, which is why I really wanted to do in-person stuff, because I believe I'm quite a good leader, I'm quite good at communicating, I'm quite good at coming up with ideas. And in my auditions, Bath offered me straight away a in-person audition, which I went to, and that was really good. It was really communal. It felt like everyone was quite nice. But when I was there for the open day, it seemed a lot more upbeat than it was on the audition day, which weren't my favourite thing about it, because on the audition day the energy dropped totally. It was a lot more calm, which wasn't the reason that I went for the audition, because I wanted it to be high energy, which the Leeds audition was. With that, I had 2 stages. The first stage was sending in 2 monologues, contrasting monologues, which is again why I chose it, and I sent in a classical and a contemporary. And then I got through to stage 2, which was in person. And again, that one, Leeds, as I said, was my first choice from pretty much looking at the prospectus. And thankfully, after the in-person audition, they offered me a conditional offer. Bath offered me an unconditional offer, which is my secondary choice. Whereas Leeds offered me a conditional with merit/pass being the condition to get in there. In terms of skills and knowledge, after uni, my thoughts, I don't really have a plan. I have a really basic plan in my head of what I'm going to do after uni. But the reason that I've not properly solidified it in my mind is because in terms of before college, at high school, I was not in the same place mentally, and in terms of my acting ability, I wasn't in the same place as I am now. And after these 2 years, my brain has gone from, I want to do musical theatre because that's all I'd done at that point, to now, after working in screen, doing short films, doing voice reels, Doing theatre, just acting, it's a lot broader now. And when I go to uni, hopefully, over the 3 years that I'm there, it can bring it from I want to do all of these things to this is what I want to do, whether that be screening. I want to go into like Netflix shows or TV series. From there, having just one little bit to go down, knowing that I've got all these other options as well, I feel after those 3 years, my brain will be in a totally different place. So I don't want to nail on a thought now, but because I'm quite open to everything. And I was quite honest in my auditions about that. I was very honest in terms of I don't know what I want to do after uni. I know I want to get into the acting industry, but however that happens, I'm leaving open to opportunities and everything that comes up. In terms of skills, at ATA I've improved a lot, especially over this year with screen, voice work and classical stuff, because before this year I hadn't done any classical work. Shakespeare was something that I looked at in English, not in drama. And I think looking at it in that way didn't help me. Looking at it in English didn't help me because I didn't connect with it. Whereas with acting, I have connected with it, and I'm continuing to connect with it as an actor. I think before being a professional, I don't think right now I am at a professional level. I think I'm at a really good level for college, and I'm at a drama school level. But again, that's why I'm keeping my options open for uni. In terms of Mandy Network and Spotlight, I think I would always keep my Mandy Network open and up to date. I think that was one of the main things that I wrote when looking at different Mandy Network pages. I think Spotlight would be something that comes later on in my career, which I'm not looking at right now. But in terms of Mandy Network, I'm going to keep that updated. And even if I do get an agent, which is probably the aim, even if I do get an agent, then I'll just link the agent on the Mandy Network whilst keeping that up to date. Because also it's for me as well, looking at all of the experiences that I've had, it's quite nostalgic to look back at stuff that I've done, even away from being a professional. So what's next in my short term? My plan is to go to uni, have the 3 years there, and then move forward from that. Whereas my middle term plan is, getting an agent, being in the acting industry, moving forward as an actor. And I think that's quite realistic because I've chosen a course at Leeds Conservatoire that is like perfect to me both as an actor and moving forward. It gives me a realistic opportunity to actually get into the industry. With the industry showcase, hopefully I get an agent who could help me, push forward. That is the longer term plan, getting an agent and then going to be professional. I'll keep up my Mandy Network page, as I said. That's literally just for someone looking at my my profile to see what I've done for future work, and also for me it's quite nostalgic, as I said, to look back on it. Going back to my short term, my plan whilst I'm at uni is to be open to any opportunity that comes. I've been like that at ATA, and I feel like being proactive and being open to opportunities will actually help me excel my development and advance as an actor, which I wouldn't have previously. For example, a short film that we've done, working with the media students, has helped me in my screen work so much. And I feel like when I'm at uni or drama school, wherever wherever I do go, whether that be Leeds Conservatoire or Bath Spa Uni, I think my plan is to just be open to opportunities and throw myself into the deep end of everything, not holding back, and to hopefully get a distinction there, and to move forward into the industry itself. So yeah, in total, you know, I feel like I know what I want to do in the short term. I know what I need to do, what my next steps are, whether that be uni, then first year uni, second year uni, third year uni, and then go into the acting industry. That few years after the 3 years of uni is very open. I do not know where I'll be in 3 years' time. I have no idea, but I'm okay with that. I obviously want to be in the acting industry, and I don't think that will change my faith and hope and drive to be a professional actor hasn't ever changed. But yeah, that's me, and that's the film discussion for Unit 10.